When you think about the things that can cause cancer, we talked about environmental factors, we talked about genetic factors. Nebraska is a wonderful place to think about this because people in Nebraska don't move. One of my favorite things when I give this talk is to ask people, do you live on the same spot that your mom and dad lived on in Nebraska? Uh-huh. Is it the same spot that they lived on? Uh-huh. Is it the same spot that they lived on? Uh-huh. So if there was something in the environment, and I'm not saying there is, but if there was, you have to have a population that has been there long enough to have it have an impact on their DNA and possibly cause cancer. That's the first thing. The second thing, who are the people that are at most risk? Those are the people that are exposed to whatever that environmental problem is. And what makes Nebraska a wonderful place to live and a wonderful place to grow things is the Ogallala Aquifer. The Ogallala Aquifer is the largest aquifer in the world, 175,000 square miles, covers 8 states, and 85% of our groundwater comes from the aquifer. Unfortunately, it is naturally contaminated with heavy metals like uranium, like arsenic, and there's also nitrate in the Ogallala Aquifer. What you're looking at right now is a picture of the aquifer in the United States. Everything that's in blue is nitrate, everything that's in red is uranium. There are levels of nitrate in the Ogallala Aquifer that are nobody's fault, that are over the EPA limit of 10. When that nitrate is around uranium, it allows the uranium to be more bioavailable. So we are doing work with people like Graze to understand ways to mitigate that risk of where this uranium and this nitrate are co-being expressed. Because in that setting, we find that people in that watershed, those children have a higher risk of cancer. And those are where some of our cancer diagnoses are coming from. So I want to be very clear with what I'm saying. If you don't listen to anything else that I said, hear this. Farmers and ranchers are my number one concern because you are the people that are most distant from the care that your child might potentially need. And there's a possibility that the water that we're utilizing might have compounds in it that could be problematic. That could be solved with things like reverse osmosis, or looking at the way that we do different farming modalities, things that Graze Masters is helping us with. But we don't know that yet. There needs to be more research that needs to be done on that. And that's what our team at the University of Nebraska Medical Center is doing. But in that, I want you to know the why. And the why always comes back to the patients and the families. And I want you to hear from one of the families, the Peters family. And Gary's going to come up and he's going to tell you the story about his son. I take care of patients that unfortunately sometimes don't survive their cancer. My job after that is to honor their legacy and remember the impact that they had while they were here. I have never in my career met a family that honors the legacy of their son more than the Peters do. And the story that they tell impacts all of the issues that we talked about, being distant from where the care is given, the impact of the therapy that we're giving to these kids, and the need to do more research to understand the why and better ways to treat them. So with that, Gary, if you could come up.